English people's main use today is judging American talent. You're crap. You're wonderful. They're mean, but they're incisive.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to do something a little different for today's video. I've seen these ranking tiered videos in the past, and I just wanted to take a crack at it for a couple different reasons. One, I like talking about The Office, which really shouldn't come as too much of a surprise. And then two, I'm going to be wrapping up season 9 of the field guides next year. And I've got plans to make a really long video ranking every episode of the series. So this is going to help me kind of get my list and my thoughts together for all of that. We're going to start today with ranking season 1 and season 2 of The Office together, which I think might screw up my SEO a little bit, but I don't really care. If you're new, hey everybody, I'm Chris. I'm reviewing every episode of The Office ever on my channel. So, you know, if that interests you, check out the rest of my channel. But for everyone else, thanks for watching. Glad you're here. But I'm going to be ranking both of these together because ranking a 6-episode season would take, I don't know, 10 minutes or less. And ranking them together is about as long as what a regular season would be. So, taking a look at the tiers real quick, I named them from the bottom, the Stranglers. These are the episodes that strangle the life out of the series for me.
If you're out there, Strangler, you will get caught.
I don't expect to see many episodes in that section, but, you know, time will tell. And then above that, we have the Annex, which is kind of like an episode where it has some merit, like some good aspects of it, but it's just better not in my presence.
You are moving to the Annex.
To the Annex? Where Kelly is?
Then we have the PPC, which I decided on because, like, while it's kind of exclusive, it's still just a party planning committee in a mid-tier paper company in Scranton, Pennsylvania. So, you know, good, but not great. Also, above that, we have assistant to the regional manager, which I think speaks for itself. And then above that, we have the Dundies, which I also think that speaks for itself. If you have some ideas for what I should name them next time, feel free to leave them in the comments. Also, I should say I haven't scripted this. I'm going to record myself just putting this list together as I go. And I think the order I'm going to go in is from worst to best. And then we'll just see what happens. Leave a comment if you've watched 1,000 of these and you have any insights you want to give me on how to make this better. So with that, let's go.
This is the worst.
Okay, so we have our list. Every one of these reflects an episode, and hopefully I don't sound like an idiot whenever I start trying to explain these because it's been a couple of years since I've watched these. So starting us off at the Strangler, the bottom tier, fans of the channel, especially as of late, this shouldn't be a surprise. I'm going to go with Hot Girl to go at the very bottom of the list. Hot Girl, it's funny because it's one of the most easily identifiable episodes of The Office, especially just from the thumbnail itself, because Amy Adams is in this, and that's cool and all. But the episode it's boring, and it's long, and it's uncomfortable. So starting in season 2, Michael Scott was crafted to be what I called in a recent video, a reluctant villain. But in season 1, he's kind of a monster. And that's seen all the way through season 1. And it makes Michael, and it makes the series very difficult to enjoy. But it's one thing when he's kind of arrogant or I don't know, buffoonish behavior. It's like a whole nother thing, biased as I may be, he's creepy with Amy Adams in this episode, and his behavior is it makes me uncomfortable to watch.
Wait a second. Oh, I should have spotted another addict. Oh, gotta love the Bucks.
So bottom tier, that's where it goes. And then this might be a hot take. I'm not 100% sure, but joining it along with Hot Girl is the pilot episode of The Office. The pilot is I get it. Like, this is when you're introducing your main characters and you're kind of establishing the world that you live in. It's just, looking back, it's just not good. It's vastly different even from the rest of season 1. The storytelling makes very little sense, and I understand. Like, I get it. I get it. I get it. Based on The Office UK, you know, putting together a big vision and trying to capture and encapsulate it into a 20-minute episode. There's all the reasons. I understand. When I think about what deserves to be strangled, that we could lose this episode, start with Diversity Day, and really miss almost nothing except brief introductions to some of the characters. But I think that's it for the Stranglers. There's not many episodes of The Office that I think I could do without. Like, the series would be better if this didn't exist. So now looking at the Annex, which are episodes that should exist, they have a function, but it would be better. I could skip these episodes on rewatches. And unfortunately, that might include a hefty amount of season 1. But to start with, the very first one I would send to the Annex is performance review. By definition, there are moments in each of these episodes that are going to be good, but performance review is one of those episodes that I just don't enjoy. And maybe that's because I have my own hangups with my own performance reviews of the past and feeling like they're all just corporate goobly gop to get me to work harder and always dangle the carrot in front of me. I do love Dwight's presentation. I love Jan calling Michael stupid. There's stuff in this episode that's worth it, but overall, it's dull, it's cringe, and not in a good way. It's slow
and stupid,
and I just don't like it. Okay, next up for the Annex is email surveillance. This is an episode that has some moments that shine. The Michael Scott improv bit is fantastic. The whole party is kind of cute with the Jim and Pam stuff, but then it's also a little heartwarming when Jim decides to stand up and sing with Michael. There's good moments in here, but overall, this episode is one of those where I don't like it. They didn't find the rhythm for how an episode could manage the humor that could carry a primetime television comedy while dragging things out. And this episode did not hit that mark. And another episode, speaking of dragging things out, is something I'm going to include on this list that might be up for controversy, is the inclusion of healthcare into the Annex. Healthcare is an episode that people remember fondly, and that's fine. There are some great bits in there. The whole improv stuff with the diseases that everybody wants covered, that's all fantastic. Some of the bits with Dwight's office is good. Overall, there's a lot of stuff for Dwight to shine in this episode, and not a lot for anybody else to do, and it suffers greatly. Some of the stuff with Michael trying to find ways to boost morale is so ridiculously uncomfortable and drawn out, and none of it is funny. All right, next in the Annex, I'm going to go with probably another one that's going to get me in a little bit of trouble, and that is the Boys and Girls episode. Now, what's interesting about this is that this episode deserves a Field Guide remake, which, by the way, I'm considering doing remakes for all of my Field Guides at some point, so leave it in the comments if you're interested in that. I'm considering it. We'll see. Just do like a rewatch series. But somebody left a comment on this like a year after I posted this video about what they thought the deeper meaning was. And I was like, dude, I'm stupid and terrible at this. That person should be making the channel. Because I kind of alluded to it, but I just blanked right over it. And it was good. Maybe I should rethink this episode. And at some point I might, but I haven't watched this since I did that Field Guide a while ago. And I still do not like this episode. It is long. It's uncomfortable. It's not funny, haha. It's still, yeah. And I feel sad for Pam throughout this entire episode. But that might be it for this tier. let's spend a little bit of time in the PPC and then I'll decide, because I think that's going to be deciding in between the PPC and the annex is going to be interesting. Like, first up, Michael's birthday. I'm going to put that in the PPC. Michael's birthday is cringe, but it's cringe in a sense that is like, it's not believable. It's rooted in reality, but it's not reality. And something about it makes him sadly endearing, and it kind of works. Dipping then back into season 1, I'm going to put the Alliance in here. Now that might shock some people, but for anyone who's recently rewatched this episode, a single line cannot be the reason why this would go up in tiers. Because if you think about it, the Alliance is endearing, is memorable for one reason.
Do you want to form an alliance with me? Absolutely, I do. Good.
The rest of the episode is a little unbearable. There's some moments where the acting is a little subpar. I think from there, one of the episodes I'm battling with is the Booze Cruise. Does the Booze Cruise deserve to be in PPC or the Annex? And I struggle with this one because I try to think about the episode overall rather than just moments. But the moment where Jim breaks up with Amy Adams and then has that conversation with Michael Scott out on the deck while he's handcuffed, it almost makes the entire episode worth it. But on the other hand, the entire episode makes me feel like when I would have a night where I wanted to ask a girl out, but I never had the shot and I never had the guts to do it. And then like, as the night is over, it dawned on me that I missed my opportunity and I'll never get this chance again. And that's what this episode makes me feel. And so I don't know if that's a good thing, or so I'm gonna put it in the PPC and we'll figure it out from there. It's not a bad episode, but it's definitely not one of the ones that I'm like, wow, this was incredible. Looking at my list, I'm gonna also add the Valentine's Day episode into this. I think the part of this that makes everything lift up is Michael's journey around New York City. That stuff's fantastic. Phyllis getting all of the stuff. There's just a lot in this episode that I did enjoy. Again, it suffers from a little bit of the pacing from the early Office that I'm just not a huge fan of. I think from there, looking at this list too, I almost forgot what this was, but it is a shot of Dwight smelling something disgusting in Michael's office.
Somebody making soup?
I actually think I'm putting this one in the Annex. This is an episode where we establish a little bit of Michael's backstory and his motivations as a character. And I love that. It needs to exist. But the episode itself I don't know. But this is the episode with the hate crime comment. So I don't know. I'm putting it up in the PPC. There's a lot in that episode that I'm like, that's good. This is good. Okay. But I don't want the PPC to get too, I don't know. I've never done this before. Okay. What's next? Okay. The Secret is an episode that I kind of hate. And it's no secret that I kind of hate that episode. I'm going to drop The Secret into the Annex. There's a lot I really don't like in there. Michael knows Jim's secret, and Jim's trying to make sure that Michael's going to be cool about it. So it's fine, but it's not very good. I think the chicken breast thing is the only thing that's very memorable from that.
I will have a chicken breast. Hold the chicken. Oh.
Is that what you really want?
All right, look at what I have left over. Okay, the next one I'm debating about is where to put basketball. And this is going to be a frustrating thing for some people. I have spent a lot of time thinking about whether or not this is a good episode. And some people love this episode. But for me, it's as good. It is as good as it gets in the PPC. That's as good as it gets. If you strip all of the nostalgia and all of your love for moments, like the 2 or 3 moments in this episode that you think are like top tier comedy, and then just go back and rewatch them and include those moments, is this really that good? I don't know, guys. It's fine. It's not more than fine. I'll say that. All right, so let's start looking at assistant to the regional manager. I am debating on whether or not to put boys, take your daughter to work day. This is a episode that is near and dear to my heart, just because, again, we get to learn so much about Michael's backstory, stuff that's established here that carries the character all the way through the end of the series. Well, for him. And I struggle because as a whole, I don't know if the episode deserves to be up there as assistant to the regional manager, but it's good. I'm going to go with the same logic for the fight. The fight is one of those episodes that overall I'm like, I don't know. This is good. It's not like incredible television, but it's good. You know what? I'm putting that down in the PPC. I get why these lists are effective ways to communicate this stuff now. Hopefully this is enjoyable to anybody else. I think an episode that deserves to be assistant to the regional manager is the assistant to the regional manager in Dwight Speech. That is an episode that I think is pretty awesome. And it's fantastically written, fantastically directed, and overall, it's just good. It's a great example of Jim pulling one over on Dwight in a very fantastical way, and I really enjoy it. Man, I got a lot left. I did not think these were all going to be up in here. All right, one hot take. Diversity Day is going to... It's going to assistant to the regional manager, and that's going to piss some people off. That's fine. We'll see you guys later if you're clicking out. The Diversity Day episode is a very important episode for The Office, and it absolutely deserves to be higher up in one of these tiers. But it's also not the best episode of The Office, and the sheer fact that that ends up on some of the top 10 list of The Office is bananas to me, because it is not that good. Now, there are amazing moments in this, and there's great comedy in there, but there's equally a lot of moments that don't land, and there's nothing intended to land. It's okay. All right, what do we look at next? I got Halloween, the Halloween episode. I'm putting the Halloween episode in the PPC. That's one of those ones where the story is just kind of all over the place, and Michael is a little frustrating to which is the point, but I'm not sure the humor always lands, and he's a little unbelievably cringe in that.
I'm gonna kill myself!
Wow.
But going back to the assistant to the regional manager, very identifiable episode here in sexual harassment. I think that's a fantastic episode that deserves every bit of the hype it gets.
You know what? The only thing I am worried about is getting a boner. Good work today, everybody.
Another episode in that tier is drug testing. It's one of those breakout episodes for me whenever I started this channel and I was working through each episode of The Office, and I got to drug testing, and I was writing this very, complex, deeper meaning about the Nixon's war on drugs, and I thought, wow, this is interesting to me. There's more under the surface of this show than I think I'd ever really given it credit for. And so if you've been watching for that long, or you've binged through all of these episodes, you probably saw my writing style change after I got to the drug testing episode, because I was like, wait, there's a deeper meaning to some of these episodes. Okay. Oh, an episode that I'm also going to put in assistant to the regional manager is The Injury. The Injury is... I've kind of changed my tune on it a little bit. I have come to really enjoy Michael in this episode. It's taken me quite a long time, but I think it's a fantastic episode that is fun to watch and endearing in a lot of ways, not only to Michael, but to Dwight, to Pam, and kind of Jim by proxy. Conflict resolution, I think I'm comfortable putting that in, I think, the PPC. I don't know if conflict resolution deserves to go up any higher than that. But, it does have some of the complaints about Jim, in which all of those pranks are revealed that we had not seen on camera. This actually gets pretty hard.
That's what she said.
It goes up to assistant to the regional manager. And now I've got a list of 6 episodes. So we need to decide what belongs in the top tier and what's just assistant to the regional manager. The client goes assistant to the regional manager. The moment Michael makes a sale to Tim Meadows is fantastic. His unexpected love with Jan is just super fun, really great. Love it all around. Let's also drop then Fire in there. There's so much to love in the Fire that just works so well. Not only in those memorable bits, but the episode itself is structured really well, and I enjoyed a lot. Okay, Christmas is one of those ones where I struggle with whether it should go an assistant to the regional manager or Dundies. I'm going to start it in the Dundies. I think that Christmas might be at least the best Christmas episode of The Office, but it also might be one of the best episodes. Do you rank these laterally? I guess you can. Huh, interesting. But what would be better is, I don't know. Okay, so for me, sorry, I get distracted. The Dundies, let's see. So Christmas episode is from start to finish one of those episodes where the cringe is evident and it's there. And again, Michael is rooted as a unrealistically realistic D-bag. Like, he's very hard to deal with in this episode, but in a way that doesn't make it feel slimy and scummy. They kind of nailed that experience of Michael Scott by this point in the series, and I love it. That's good. And that all started with the actual Dundies, which is a little bit on the nose for the category, but I'm going to just slide this over here. Can just go like that. Okay. The Dundies is, what is that? That's the first episode of season 2, and it's the first episode with the new direction for Michael Scott. So if you watch Hot Girl and then you watch the Dundies, you'll notice not only a difference in the sets, not only a difference in the lighting, not only a difference in a lot of the way that the story beats unfold in the episode, but you'll also notice the difference of Michael Scott. The difference of this person is a monster, and that's not funny. He is just the villain, to someone who is relatable, but is also kind of a dork and kind of just socially inept. And in a way that is off-putting to people. But to watch the staff rally around him and all of the stuff that comes along with that, it's fantastic. I think going from there then, we have Casino Night. Casino Night is an important episode. It's important for the story of Michael Scott. It's important for the story of Jim and Pam. There's so much to this episode, and it's so well done. And then from there, we have Office Olympics. It's in every edit ever used to kind of exemplify what The Office is. Even this thumbnail alone is one of those things where you look at and you feel the feelings of watching this episode just by looking at it. Michael's down, he's feeling lost, he's feeling depressed about not being able to not having the family that he wants to have at the moment. And yet when he comes into the office, the rest of his staff is like, they're just slacking all day. He walks in and all of a sudden he's being awarded something that makes him feel like he's part of a team, makes him feel like he's part of something, that he has that family that he wants. And it's something that is there's just something so wholesome about it. Makes no sense. And it just works so well. So yeah, that's my list. If you love these kind of list tier things, leave some comments on how I can make this stuff better. Next time I'm going to be doing just season 2 all together. And if you have any ideas, like I said, leave it in the comments. And if you hate my list, then leave that in the comments. Find out where things should be. And hey, maybe make your own list and tell us what you think these things should be. All right. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.